The following episode of The Kingdom of Isolation contains footage from the film being discussed. The footage is used solely for the purposes of education, commentary, and criticism under fair use. Please support the animators by watching this film on Disney Plus or home media where available. This episode also contains spoilers throughout. Hello, my fellow Pixar fans, and welcome to the Kingdom of Isolation, where in times of trouble, why not celebrate the magic of Pixar? I'm Kenzie Retro, and today we're going to be looking at Pixar's latest offering, Elio, which released in the summer of 2025. In Pixar's latest offering, we set out on an immersive journey into the life of Elio, a soul navigating the quiet corridors of solitude. In a realm where the world feels cold and distant, Elio stands as a beacon for anyone who has ever questioned their place or yearned for genuine connection. This episode will weave together striking visuals, resonant music, and a poetic narration to bring Elio's inner world to life. As the story unfolds, you'll witness Elio confronting moments of isolation and uncertainty, learning to embrace vulnerability, and discovering strength within the silence. Though heartfelt encounters and personal reflection, and through heartfelt encounters and personal reflection, Elio's tale reveals not only the pain of loneliness, but also the profound beauty found in self-discovery and hope. So, join us as we explore what it truly means to seek belonging, even when surrounded by emptiness, and follow Elio's transformative path toward acceptance and light. Now, the film was supposed to be a more autobiographical story, like most of Pixar's films during the first half of the 2020s. To be directed by Coco co-director Adrian Molina. In particular, the film was supposed to represent Molina's lonely childhood and how he overcame that loneliness when he went to animation college at Cal Arts in room A113. Notably, this film version was so far into development that a trailer was publicly released in June of 2023. However, after Pixar's CCO, Pete Docter, Chief Creative Officer, he decided to pivot away from personal stories in favor of universal appeal films. Says the guy that directed Inside Out. Can you scream hypocrite any louder for those at the back? Elio was heavily reworked to meet this new goal. Most notably, Molina departed as director to help co-direct Coco 2, entrusting the project to Turning Red director Domi Shi and Burrow director Madeline Sharafian. However, Molina still retains a director's credit on the film due to a heavy amount of his work being kept for the new cut, such as the old character designs. Having these autobiographical stories is what made your film so relatable, Pixar. And now you've become just like every other studio, chasing the box office receipts. As seen in the original teaser, Qui-Gon was the ambassador of the Communiverse and the character that Elio befriended as a heroic comedic sociopath. He was subsequently rethought as the big bad who was denied ambassadorship by the Communiverse, with Elio making friends with his reluctant son. In the teaser for the new version, when Elio was found by two teens who ask him if he's okay, Elio states that he is trying to get abducted. He quickly clarifies that he means an alien abduction upon seeing the teens' confused looks. He then lifts his shirt to reveal a birthmark in the shape of the Orion Nebula, which they suggest he has checked out by a doctor. This scene is not in the actual movie. Not the first time that's happened, and it definitely won't be the last. This might be because Elio saying he wants to get abducted before clarifying that he meant by aliens has unsettling implications. So we get started with some ethereal music mixed with piano and orchestra to start. The music here is provided by Rob Simonson, who's worked on films previously like 500 Days of Summer, Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, Foxcatcher, Stonewall, Nerve, Love, Simon, Stargirl, Ghostbusters Afterlife, The Whale, Deadpool and Wolverine, and it ends with Us.
Elio, you have to eat something. You remember what your mom used to order for you?
Elio is with his aunt Olga, who's a major in the Air Force. But Elio isn't eating, which is worrying. Elio is voiced by Jonas Kabrib, who's got a couple of Star Wars credits under his belt, including the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Major Olga is voiced by Zoe Saldana, who I may have mentioned previously on the show. I'm not sure if I have. But she is best known for James Cameron's Avatar. She's also been in the Star Trek reboot movies alongside Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto, and was also Gamora in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, most notably in Guardians of the Galaxy. Elio heads to a closed exhibit for the Voyager 1. It's closed because it's not ready to be open to the public yet. After hearing about the astronaut program, Olga manages to find him at the exhibit, which does give us some beautiful visuals of space. And we get some more beautiful music as we journey through space with the opening credits. Elio Solis' name and surname mean sun. The former derived from the Greek sun god Helios, and the latter from Sol, the S-O-L, the Latin translation of the word. This is the final movie that veteran Pixar production designer Harley Jessup worked on before he retired. The fact that he's willing to be abducted by aliens is charming, to say the least. And also a little bit concerning. Elio's sand drawing that says, "Aliens, abduct me!" is a rough sketch of the Pixar campus, including the amphitheater. Montage time, and Elio waits forever to be abducted, all to the tune of Once in a Lifetime by Talking Heads. Not very often we get a licensed soundtrack on top of the film score as well. Well, I say licensed soundtrack, there is only 2 licensed songs in this film. The other one we'll get to later. Eventually, after falling asleep, looking at the stars, he finally gets abducted. Not sure why I'd want to celebrate this.
Hey.
Okay, not aliens, but it's Bryce, voiced by Dylan Glimmer, also known as Young Dylan, and Caleb, voiced by Jake Getman. They destroy Elio's equipment, leaving him
absolutely livid.
Cops arrive, and Major Solus, or Major Olga, is not happy about the secrets Elio is hiding.
Which one of these is you?
I don't know, but I think that one is you.
Very accurate. Adrian Molina based much of Elio's character off of himself as a child, such as how he had a mother that worked in the military. In the first draft of the script, Olga was supposed to be Elio's mum. It was revised to be his aunt. Another insider reference the creators implemented was the name they gave a radio Elio uses. The film's producer, Mary Alice Drum, revealed that they combined 2 of the director's names, she and Sharafin, to put on the radio. Elio needs to stay where he is for 10 minutes. Sounds easy enough, right? Yup, because one of Olga's colleagues finds the same signal Elio found earlier.
Let's just take 5. It's been a long night.
This gives Elio the opportunity to record a message and send it, which he does. at the expense of blowing the power. Olga is blunt, telling him aliens aren't coming, causing him to, let me guess, run away from home and get abducted by aliens anyway?
Because there's 500 million habitable planets out there, and one of them's gotta want me. Because obviously you don't.
Of course I do. We're family.
You're not my family.
I guess we have to have that family argument beforehand. So, Elio is on the roof instead of running away. And this is where we see Pixar's A113 Easter egg on Elio's rucksack on a patch, which also works as a nod to Area 51. Now, quick question. Where is the Pizza Planet truck? Seriously, where is the Pizza Planet truck in Elio? The A113 Easter egg on Elio's rucksack with the patch, which is a nod to Area 51, making the Easter egg read Area 113. Next day, he's taken to boarding school. Caleb and Bryce become bullies, big shock, and decide to try and scare him, causing him to run away from camp. And there's the runaway. Olga gets a message at work saying, "Bring us your leader." Why did that sound like a mix between the Cybermen and the Daleks? Elio then gets taken, leaving him celebrating. Again, not sure why I'd be celebrating being abducted by aliens. The visuals are pretty impressive for this whole sequence, especially the touch of the particles floating in the air. Shortly after he's abducted, lifts Elio's shorts and uses an X-ray to reveal his boxes, where we get the Luxo Junior ball printed on them. Elio has a poster above his bed depicting a number 42. This is a reference to Douglas Adams' novel and eponymous TV series, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and the 2005 remake movie, in which the number 42 is the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything, everywhere all at once! His phone case is the rabbit from the Pixar short film Burrow, part of the Spark Short series. That's what it is. Some of the posters in Elio's room are ones Frida Kahlo painted in cocoa. Now, I could be here for a while going through all the Pixar Easter eggs in these films. In this case, there is another one that includes Forky from Toy Story 4. Honestly, wow. The animation, Elio's Zor, and the music. Chef's kiss. Simply incredible. Elio is now a candidate for membership into the Communiverse. The biggest thing I have to praise about the animation is how vibrant the color palette is while in the Communiverse. When Elio is looking through the Universal Handbook, which is voiced by Pixar veteran Bob Peterson. And it's not the first time it's happened where they get members of the Pixar team to voice other characters. He's looking through the Universal Handbook about how to negotiate. The handbook asks him if he wants to foster peace and connection. The symbol shown on the pamphlet is the hand symbol for live long and prosper. Just for you Trekkies out there. On the subject of Star Trek, miss you every day, Leonard Nimoy. I miss you every day.
This is the most beautiful place I've ever seen.
I agree with Elio on that one. The more we explore the Communiverse, the more vibrant it feels. Elio discovers that they have the Voyager in their possession, which is pretty cool. There's another candidate to worry about, and it's...
Your technology and my weapons would be an unstoppable alliance. Now, admit me to your Communiverse.
Him. That's Lord Grygon, voiced by Brad Garrett, last seen in the kingdom in an extremely goofy movie. Not a pleasant watch in some areas, but still top right of your screens. So Qui-Gon's not allowed to be part of the universe, leading to a classic villain response, albeit a bit cliche at this point.
If I cannot join the Communiverse, then I shall take it by force!
Okay, so we're all about to die. Elio volunteers himself to try and negotiate with Qui-Gon, and in exchange, he'll be made a member on the spot. They take a DNA sample from Elio, leading to a clone being made of him, which takes Elio's place on Earth. The running gag regarding the Universal Handbook is that it wants Elio to learn about life, the universe, and everything everywhere all at once. Not the movie, just life, the universe, and everything. Just roll with it. But never gets the chance to.
The most important thing is to stay calm.
Don't you tell me to stay calm. What is this, huh? A camp or a fight club?
Oh, those jump cuts. They always get a laugh out of me. Olga takes Elio home, roll with it, while listening to one of her favorite songs. Elio now has to negotiate with Qui-Gon. Yeah, this is gonna end well. This is definitely gonna end well. The Luxor lamp outline can be found in the stars, million miles away. The original art book implied that other Elio was originally the antagonist of the film. The plot in which Elio becomes an ambassador to Earth resembles a plot element from the direct-to-video animated film in Stitch, in which Lilo is awarded the same title. While she worked hard to earn it, Elio became one by chance.
The negotiation is over. Gronk, show the prisoner to his quarters.
Well, that's ending well. He gets out of the prison cell pretty easily and meets Glorden, voiced by Remy Edgley, who's relatively new on the scene, providing additional voices for Kingdom Hearts 3 and Sing 2, while also being Seal in SEAL Team and a young Fitzroy in Hell of a Boss. Qui-Gon discovers that Elio has escaped and goes to hunt him down.
Well, Dad values blood, glory, the misery of his enemies.
Yeah, that's just villain 101, Glorden. That's just villain 101. They both try to navigate the tunnels. Elio says the cannon Qui-Gon is aiming at, the Communiverse, is just a drill. And then we get this.
What are these tunnels for anyway? Oh, these are the lava flumes.
Wait, sorry, hang on there, the what? So they ride the lava flumes back to the ship, riding back to the Communiverse. They negotiate that Qui-Gon leaves them in peace, in exchange for returning Glorden to him. I love the friendship between Elio and Glorden. Just two kids having fun together. Back with Qui-Gon, he wants to do the Carapace ceremony on the Communiverse, turning Glorden into a war machine like him. This is definitely going to end well. We get one of the most fun and wholesome friendship montages I've seen in a while, as Elio and Glorden get to just be kids, all while we get some brilliant music to complement all of this. Then in classic Pixar fashion, reality hits home.
I thought Earth was the problem. But what if it's me?
Now let's face it, who hasn't been in that position before? Glorden gives him some reassurance that he'll be okay, and right on cue, Qui-Gon arrives in the Communiverse, leading to Glorden admitting he doesn't want to be in the Carapace, not wanting to follow in his dad's footsteps. Yes, Qui-Gon is his father.
What are we doing? We're gonna give your dad what he wants.
Oh yeah, by cloning Glorden. Speaking of clones, Elio checks in on his and struggles to process that his clone is settling in pretty well. Elio goes ahead with cloning Glorden, giving us a reference to The Office as well. Now I see that as a win-win-win.
Meanwhile, thousands of miles away.
Clone Elio turns in for the night, and Olga has one of his hairs leading to some detective work, and the hair manages to sneak back onto clone Elio, leading to a very disturbing sight.
Hi, we should probably talk.
Thanks for the nightmare fuel! Back in the Communiverse, clone Glorden goes to the Carapace, Qui-Gon keeps his word and leaves. Elio becomes ambassador.
Where is my son?
Okay, not ambassador yet. Glorden heads to Earth on the ship. They discover that Elio isn't a leader and that he's just a kid. And he's sent back to Earth. Qui-Gon takes the Communiverse under his control because the ship that has Glorden on it isn't in the docking bay where it initially was. Elio washes up on the beach, begging the aliens not to leave him. Breaking down, all as his clone is with Olga, not too far away. Elio finds Olga and can relate to feeling alone, which is how she feels right now. The music here is beautiful, definitely tugs at the heartstrings. At the base, chaos is about to be unleashed as clone Elio
I don't feel so
gives us dose number 2 of Nightmare Fuel. Thanks, Pixar. I'm not sleeping tonight. That gives Elio and Olga the all clear to get to the ship and Glorden. Anyone else get Flight of the Navigator vibes from this sequence? They find Glorden in a really, really bad shape. He's suffering from hypothermia. He's suffering from hypothermia at this point. His hypothermia, his temperature being really, really low, and he struggles to adapt to the cold weather. All because the little disc that he's got, that disc is broken. It ain't helping him. Glorden is in really bad shape. They then get the ship up and try flying back to the Communiverse, but they're in a debris field, meaning they can't use the hyperspeed. Thankfully, Ellie was able to contact Bryce on the ground, who relays them to Melmac, and I believe this is where we find the Pizza Planet truck. There was good progress to start with, but it starts going south as the shields start to deplete. They get help from around the world to navigate the debris field. They make it through. But what are the shields at? They don't tell us. They don't tell us what the shields are at. At this point, they make it back to the Communiverse, praying that Glorden is going to pull through. Qui-Gon breaks out of his carapace and tries to save his son. Now, do I call this a redemption arc, or just a father's parental instincts kicking in? Why not both? Glorden pulls through and says he doesn't want to be a war machine. Qui-Gon apologizes, releases everyone, allowing Elio to become an ambassador of the Communiverse. But Elio decides to decline the offer and return home with Olga.
This isn't goodbye. It's just not yet. We understand.
He's reassured that he's not alone before hugging Glorden one last time and heading home. And those sort of endings always get to me. Saying goodbye to a friend you've met, not knowing if you'll ever see them again. Everyone sees that the Communiverse is real as the credits roll, where a special acknowledgement to the US Air Force for helping with the research of the film, for helping with the research that made the film possible. The closing words in the film were made by Carl Sagan, a late astronomer whose words were a 1985 interview with Studs Terkel on WFNT radio, provided to Pixar by the Chicago History Museum. We get a mid-credit scene with Elio and Bryce managing to re-establish contact with Glorden, who simply says, "Tell me everything." The Pixar babies are credited as future Earth ambassadors. And it's really cute. It's so cute. I love it. I love when Pixar does this for the Pixar babies. Following this, the producers gratefully acknowledge the cooperation of the US Department of Defense, Department of the Air Force, and Guardians serving in the United States Space Force for their time and help in lending authenticity to the narrative about space missions and daily life in the military. One last wholesome touch, which I also love at the end credits of every Pixar film. This time around, it says, "We are grateful to the families and friends of the Elio crew. Thank you for bringing us home." Now, here's hoping we get more stories that are relatable in the future, because, again, that's what makes the Pixar films so special. Anyway, time to head to the scores. Now, the story weaves a rich tapestry of emotional and adventurous moments, successfully blending heartfelt character arcs with imaginative science fiction. It follows Elio's journey, one marked by feelings of isolation, courageous acts, and ultimately significant personal growth. The narrative structure is engaging with well-timed twists and moments of high tension, such as the chaotic scenes at the base and the nerve-wracking passage through the debris field. These events keep the audience invested, while the visual and musical cues heighten the drama and poignancy throughout. One of the story's strongest aspects is their exploration of relationships and identity. Elio's ability to empathize with Olga's loneliness and Qui-Gon's dramatic effort to save Glorden create resonant moments of connection and redemption. The transformation of Glorden, who chooses not to be a weapon, and Qui-Gon's heartfelt apology provide satisfying payoffs to their arcs and reinforces the film's central themes of forgiveness and self-determination. The narrative doesn't shy away from heavier elements, like the nightmare fuel sequences and the emotional weight of goodbyes. But these are balanced by touches of humor, warmth, and hope. The film's ending, which sees Elio decline the ambassador role in favor of returning home with Olga, is both realistic and moving. It suggests that one's value isn't measured by titles, but by the relationships we cherish, and the courage we show in vulnerable moments. The story is further enriched by clever nods to science fiction classics, such as Flight of the Navigator, and poignant tributes such as Carl Sagan's words and the acknowledgements to real-life contributors. These touches lend depth and authenticity, grounding the spectacular plot in a relatable human core. Despite employing some familiar tropes, the film's unique setting and strong emotional beats help it stand out, earning the story a well-deserved 8 out of 10. The film's characters serve as the beating heart of its narrative, infusing every scene with a sense of authenticity and emotional resonance. At the center stands Elio, whose journey is as internal as it is adventurous. His path from a sense of loneliness and alienation to one of belonging and self-acceptance feels genuine and hard-won. Elio's sensitivity is a strength rather than a weakness, allowing him to connect deeply with others and navigate the moral complexities of this world. His bond with Olga emerges as a powerful through line, two outsiders whose shared struggles foster mutual understanding and growth. Their partnership is rendered with subtlety, never veering into cliché, and provides some of the film's most intimate, touching moments. Glorden's arc is equally compelling, introduced in a state of crisis and vulnerability. He undergoes a transformation from an instrument of war to someone who desires autonomy, and peace. His declaration that he no longer wants to be a war machine is a defining moment, both for himself and those around him. The reconciliation between Gordon and Qui-Gon is particularly moving. Qui-Gon's efforts to save his son, breaking free from the carapace both literally and metaphorically, straddles the line between redemption and instinctual parental love. The apology and subsequent release of everyone he held as a testament to growth and the willingness to change. Supporting characters also leave a memorable mark. Bryce serves as a reliable anchor and source of support for Elio in the finale, cleverly bridging the gap between worlds during pivotal moments. The cast of the Communiverse, though varied in screen time, feel distinctive and add richness to the story's tapestry, whether by injecting levity, foiling Elio's plans, or providing unexpected wisdom. These interactions, especially in moments of chaos or high stakes, such as navigating the debris field, underscore the importance of teamwork and collective resilience. The film does not shy away from exploring the complexities of family, forgiveness, and the longing for connection. Parent-child dynamics, particularly between Qui-Gon and Gordon, are rendered with unexpected depth, and Elio's decision to decline the ambassador crown in favor of returning home with Olga further grounds the characters in relatable choices. Even minor characters add a layer of charm that speaks to Pixar's attention to detail and affection for its fictional world. While some archetypes are recognized to fans of the genre, the film's commitment to nuanced, emotionally honest characterization elevates its ensemble. Their struggles, triumphs, and transformations are not only believable, but deeply felt, making their journey resonate long after the credits roll. All these strengths combine to earn the film's characters a richly deserved 8 out of 10. The visual spectacle of the film is truly in a league of its own, deserving an 11 out of 10. Every frame bursts with imaginative detail, seamlessly blending the fantastical elements of the Communiverse with the grounded reality of Elio's world. The chaotic scenes at the base and the treacherous journey through the debris field are rendered with breathtaking clarity and creativity, immersing the viewer in both the peril and wonder of interstellar adventure. From the very outset, the film's visual identity is established with a striking palette and inventive world building. The Communiverse itself is a masterclass in design, featuring environments that are as alien as they are inviting. Luminescent landscapes, impossibly complex starships, and bustling intergalactic assemblies. Every corner of this universe is packed with subtle details, from the swirling nebulae outside of the ship's windows to the intricate patterns etched into alien architecture. This attention to world building not only makes the setting believable, but also serves as a constant source of visual intrigue, rewarding viewers who take the time to absorb every background element. The animation too is remarkable, with character movement and expressions conveying the emotion with extraordinary nuance. Elio's world is grounded in soft lighting and familiar textures, providing a stark yet harmonious contrast to the vibrant, otherworldly hues of the Communiverse. The transition between these two realms is managed with expert finesse, never jarring, always fluid, allowing the audience to experience both the comfort of home and the thrill of the unknown. Key action sequences such as the frantic escape from the base and the tense navigation through the debris field are executed with cinematic flair. The choreography of these scenes is both kinetic and coherent, ensuring that the viewer never loses track of the action, even when the stakes are at their highest. The use of color and lighting during these moments not only amplifies the sense of danger, but also adds an emotional dimension, with cool blues and fiery reds reflecting the shifting moods of the protagonists. The sensation of movement, whether it's the ship weaving through the obstacles or characters rushing to safety, is palpable, thanks to the meticulous work of the animators and visual effects artists. Subtle visual cues are woven throughout, enriching the narrative without ever distracting from it. The expressive animation allows for moments of quiet intimacy, a gentle smile, a hesitant glance, a tearful reunion, all rendered with a level of detail that speaks to the film's technical and artistic sophistication. Alien designs are notably inventive, eschewing generic tropes in favor of creatures and cultures that feel genuinely unique, but still emotionally accessible. These choices serve to heighten every emotional beat, from the tension of the near disaster to the warmth of heartfelt reunions. The film's visuals pay homage to science fiction classics with clever nods and references. These elements are incorporated with a deft hand, ensuring they complement rather than overshadow the film's own originality and vision. Ultimately, the visuals don't support the story, they elevate it, making each moment more poignant and unforgettable. Each scene is crafted to reinforce the emotional journey of the characters, with visual motifs recurring to signify growth, connection, and change. As the credits roll, the lasting impression is one of wonder and admiration for a film that pushes the boundaries of animated storytelling, setting a new benchmark for what is possible within the genre. But it's not a genre, it's an art form. It's a visual triumph that lingers long after the credits roll, inviting viewers to dream beyond the stars. And now, the soundtrack next. The soundtrack of the film stands out as an essential pillar of its emotional and narrative power, wholly deserving of its impressive 9 out of 10 score. From the opening moment, the music carefully sets the tone, balancing wonder and introspection, and immediately drawing the audience into both the majesty of space and the intimacy of Elio's journey. Each track is crafted not just to accompany the visuals, but to elevate them, underlining the emotional heartbeat of every scene. Sweeping orchestral passages soar during scenes of awe and discovery, mirroring the vastness of the universe and the exhilaration of new beginnings. In contrast, there are delicate, minimalist motifs that surface during moments of vulnerability, such as Elio's quiet reflection, heartfelt goodbyes, and the forging of meaningful connections. These recurring themes help to tie the narrative together, provide sonic anchors that enforce the film's central ideas of belonging, courage, and self-discovery. The soundtrack truly shines during the film's high-tension sequences, when chaos erupts at the base or as characters navigate the perilous debris field. Propulsive rhythms and dynamic instrumentation heighten the stakes, making every second pulse with urgency. The music's ability to escalate the tension without overwhelming the drama is a testament to its thoughtful composition and seamless integration into the film's soundscape. Equally notable is how the score softens from the movie's most tender moments. Gentle melodies accompany reunions and farewells, drawing out the poignancy of Elio's interactions with others and reminding viewers of the relationships at the story's core. These softer cues linger in the memory, resonating long after the film ends and anchoring the viewer's emotional response. What makes the soundtrack particularly unique is its interweaving of subtle homages to the great tradition of science fiction cinema. Listeners with a keen ear might catch echoes of classic sci-fi scores, which ground the fantastical elements in the universe in a familiar, comforting auditory tradition. Yet the music remains fresh and distinctive, refusing to lean too heavily on nostalgia, and instead forging an identity all its own. Ultimately, the soundtrack is more than just an accompaniment. It's a narrative force guiding the audience through wonder, peril, and joy, and reflection. Its versatility ensures that the emotional beats of the film land with clarity and intensity. Whether amplifying the rush of adventure or underscoring a quiet moment of hope, the score is vital in making the cinematic experience feel complete and deeply affecting. In this way, the film's music beautifully encapsulates both the grandeur and humanity of the story, and the 9 out of 10 here is richly merited. And now, the legacy. The legacy of this film is still taking shape at time of recording, marked by critical appreciation and a modest but notable cultural impact. With a Rotten Tomatoes score of 83%, the film has earned generally favorable reviews from critics and audiences alike, who have praised its heartfelt storytelling, imaginative visuals, and emotional depth. In terms of commercial performance, the film's journey has been more restrained, with a production budget that estimated between $150 and $200 million. It gained a global box office return of 154. And the film's financial outcome is relatively modest when compared to its ambitious scope. Although it did not achieve blockbuster status, its ability to attract audiences worldwide demonstrates a solid, if not spectacular, reach. The film's commercial results may reflect a competitive release landscape or shifting audience trends. Because you had the How to Train Your Dragon remake, you had Lilo and Stitch, there was Final Destination Bloodlines as well, you had the F1 movie at the same time as well. It was a very crowded release window at the time this summer, but they do not diminish its artistic accomplishments. Culturally, the film has sparked meaningful conversations about vulnerability and identity in animated cinema. Its central character's journey continues to resonate, especially with younger audiences and those who have ever felt like outsiders, like myself, for instance. The film's willingness to explore complex emotional terrain without sacrificing entertainment value is often highlighted in reviews. Its visually inventive world and nuanced musical score have also set a high bar for animation, garnering admiration from both industry professionals and fans. Although the film may not have achieved the sweeping box office dominance or unanimous critical acclaim of some predecessors, its narrative ambition and emotional sincerity ensure that it will be remembered by those who connected with its story. The legacy here is one of thoughtful craftsmanship and quiet influence, meriting a score of 7 out of 10, a tribute to a film that, while not a runaway hit, finds its lasting value in the hearts of its audience. The overall score stands at 86%, and it is a reflection of the film's substantial strengths across several critical categories, each contributing to an experience that is both emotionally resonant and technically impressive. The narrative can be praised for its sophisticated blend of adventure and emotion. The story's structure is lauded for its well-timed twists, moments of high tension, and a central journey that delves deeply into themes of isolation, personal growth, empathy, and the importance of relationships. Elements such as the chaotic base scenes, heartfelt goodbyes, and nods to science fiction classics contribute to a narrative that feels at once grounded and imaginative, culminating in a satisfying and realistic conclusion. The review highlights how the story balances heavier, more dramatic moments with warmth and hope, helping it stand out despite some familiar genre elements. The characters are similarly commended. Each character's arc is thoughtfully constructed, with Elio's journey towards self-acceptance and his meaningful bonds, especially with Olga, serving as the emotional core. Supporting roles from Glordon's transformation and the reconciliation of Grygon to the memorable supporting cast are rendered with nuance and depth. Even the minor characters add charm and richness to the story. Even minor characters add charm and richness, reflecting the film's commitment to be emotionally honest and detailed characterization. The visuals are an undisputed highlight. The film's visual innovation, from the meticulously designed worlds and alien environments to the fluid, expressive animation that brings both action and intimacy to life. The attention to color, lighting, and movement creates a dynamic visual experience, and each frame crafted from maximum and emotional and narrative impact. Homages to science fiction classics are incorporated with subtlety and respect, enhancing rather than distracting from the film's unique style. In the soundtrack category, the score is celebrated for its versatility. Soaking orchestral passages underscore the thrilling and awe-inspiring moments, while minimalist motifs, soaring orchestral passages underscore thrilling and awe-inspiring moments, with minimalist motifs accompanying scenes of vulnerability and connection. The music not only enhances the emotional beats of the narrative, but also pays tribute to the grand tradition of science fiction scores, blending nostalgia with originality. The soundtrack's ability to merge seamlessly with the visuals and story, amplifying both tension and tenderness, is a testament to its powerful composition. Turning to legacy, the film's commercial and critical performance is deemed respectable, even if not a runaway hit. The film's lasting value is in the ability to spark conversations about vulnerability, identity, and the importance of connection, especially for those who've ever felt like outsiders. Its visually inventive world and evocative score have set high standards within the field of animation, and it ensures the film's influence endures among industry peers and devoted audiences. The scores for each category reflect a film that excels far beyond the norm in several respects, particularly in visuals and emotional storytelling. The results honor not only the film's technical mastery and creative ambition, but also its ability to resonate with viewers on a deeply human level. This score of 86%, and that score signals a triumph of craft and heart, celebrating a cinematic achievement that is both memorable and meaningful. So naturally, this is getting recommended from myself. Scoreboard-wise, despite the respectable score, it sits below A Bug's Life and above Cars 3, near the bottom of the board. But that doesn't detract from the film's score and quality. And that is it for this episode of the Kingdom of Isolation, looking at Elio. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the thumbs up. And if you want to be part of the Kingdom of Isolation yourself, you can hit the subscribe button down at the bottom, click the bell, turn on notifications so you don't miss when an episode goes live on this channel. And the next episode, we're going to be back with the Disney Toon Studios films. We're going to be back with the direct-to-video sequels as we look at
Lady and the Tramp 2, Scamp's Adventure.
But until then, make each moment count, and I will see you guys next time in the Kingdom of Isolation.